Hey, good evening, everyone. So, a real quick check, is my audio actually working? We did one of these recently and it sure didn't. So, I think I'm all set and ready to go, or someone will be running into my office and letting me know. Hello, welcome to Rooted in Community. My name is Tom Sanford. I'm the Executive Director with North Olympic Land Trust, and so excited to join you to what's really a new thing we're trying here. Before we get started, I want to make sure to acknowledge the local tribes that really, for millennia, have and are the passionate stewards of this landscape. The Sklallam, the Makah, the Quileute. Uh, they are this community, and we are so honored to work side by side in partnership. I also want to give thanks to the community sponsors who have made this event possible tonight. They've really helped cover a lot of the funds, a lot of the activities associated with running this event, and a whole series of others during this time. And that includes the Jamestown Sklallam Tribe, Country Air Natural Foods, Sound Community Bank, customers of Sunny Farms and their Roundup program, as well as Ennis Arbor Farm, Natural Systems Design, and Susie Schuneman, a broker with John L. Scott. So, as you know, in a normal year, we'd be pulling ourselves all together every harvest season and celebrate the local bounty of this place. Uh, there's been 21 harvest dinners over the years, 23 Clallam County farm tours, and we're taking a little break from that this year. Instead of 250 locals all coming together, eating freshly made local food, and raising a lot of funds for local land conservation, instead we tried something new with a harvest farm share program. And instead of Clallam, and tonight as well, actually. And then instead of Clallam County Farm Tour, we really dove, and that event in the past has really brought, gosh, 2,000 local families out onto experiencing our farms. What we've done now is we've really gone to embrace something we call Eat Local First. It's a consolidation of a bunch of local groups. And the real goal, instead of trying to get people to go out and be on local farms for Farm Day, is to actually, how do we get local goods to be purchased and in the hands of the local community? And so that's been a consolidated branding effort all month long. And we are really excited to be part of the culmination of that tonight. So in the past, Harvest Dinner has been something that has really helped to connect the community with local farms, celebrate local farms, farmers, grocery stores, and chefs. And in the past, we've raised about $65,000 on average each year to really help things going. Luckily, our farm share program that I talked about a moment ago has already helped raise about $50,000 with huge community support. And we are hopeful that tonight we might help move a little closer to that historic goal, as we want to stay strong through a time when, frankly, the need is really there. While we need our connectivity to this place, our food, and also our natural environment, its ability to refresh, and its ability to really provide for us like it has for millennia. And so, anyhow, I'm looking at my notes really quick. So what you should expect tonight. In just a few moments, we're going to do the 22nd annual Farmer of the Year presentation. Following that, I'm really excited that I'm going to be able to share with you a brand new video put together by John Gussman, as we really start to lean heavily into our 30th anniversary as an organization. And then finally, we'll conclude the night with an opportunity for folks to make a financial contribution if they choose, to really help the land trust and our general community efforts really be able to move strong. So first off, a quick about the land trust. As you likely know, for the past 30 years, we've been really working as an arm of the community to conserve the things that we love most about being rooted in this place. And COVID has been a struggle, but even so, some amazing work has continued. When it first hit, we were really quick to say farms in particular are in need, and we started something in partnership with WSU Extension, Jefferson Land Trust, and the North Olympic Development Council called the Olympic Peninsula Farmers Fund, where we as a community collectively gathered some funds. The Land Trust, North Olympic Land Trust community, I think we gathered about $17,000 fast, pooled it all together, and put $70,000 out to local farms almost immediately after COVID hit. And the beauty of that was they could then take those funds, and then the expectation was that they basically paid them back. They were purchases on behalf of local schools and local food banks to bring that fresh produce onto those over the years ahead. But they got the farms, they got the money now. I think North Olympic Land Trust, we were really kind of leading the way in the contributions and the generosity of this community. I'm also excited that since COVID hit, the conservation work has continued. And at our harvest dinner last year, we as a community were all coming together, and I think we raised collectively about 400,000 of local donors to match some larger state and foundation funds, and purchased the 104 acres down on Town Road called River's Edge in partnership with the Jamestown tribe. And now that property is permanently owned in a way that's going to make sure it's either farmland or river habitat. And that's going to be forever, adding to about 600 acres that's already been conserved in that same lower Dungeness area. And then I'm also excited that about, when was it? In early August, North Olympic Land Trust purchased 70 acres out on the Clallam River to an area where you get some nice, a big oxbow in the Clallam River, and you get some nice infusion of tidal flooding into the area, and is some of the absolute best salmon habitat west of the Elwha. And make sure that we now, as in our ownership, we will have that be restored and really become a better, healthy, functioning property focused on salmon, but also providing some access for public recreation and all in the future. So expect more about that. So before we get too deep into tonight, I'd like to, and you should expect, we're probably about a half hour is what we're thinking of with our program tonight. There's a couple little Zoom housekeeping tips I'd like to do, as well as one quick experiment. So first off, in this weird world, I have to say, working with you all, it's been hard being how separated we are. And I really appreciate in Zoom, you're able to make sure that we know who's here. And actually you can change your name. I know sometimes it's fun to put Superman or whatever, and to actually get it to say your name is really helpful. So that's a preference, please. Secondly, tonight we're going to show one video and one slideshow. And that's a bit of a risk in Zoom. And we're going to be able to shoot it out in pretty high quality. But as we all know, we have some broadband issues in this community. And I'm hopeful for most of you, the videos are going to look pretty good. If you're hardwired into a cable line, it'll probably look better than wireless. But I think it will work okay for most. I do want to say that after this event on our YouTube channel and on the Land Trust website, you can go and watch that video directly. And so if it doesn't quite show up with the images we had hoped for and the view we had hoped for, please go visit it. The video we're going to show tonight is just beautiful. Also encourage your local officials to really invest in local broadband, and your state as well. It is a huge need in this community, so please push for great local broadband. And the other thing I'd like you all to do is a little experiment, and I know some of you have already found this, but if you go down to the bottom of your screen, you'll see there's a little chat bar, a little chat button, and if you click that on the side, you will see a chat pop up. And just to see if I can get people to practice with the chat, if you wouldn't mind just typing in really short, what is your favorite place in this community to seek and get secure, fresh local food? Where do you get your local food? So just go ahead and type that in there, and I'll just be curious to see, and we can all see what people have to say about that. Wait just a moment while some people start typing. There we go. Bentgate Farm, hooray, and Chai's Farm. Bonnie Rob, yep, Julie, straight from Julie Jacobson's garden. From Wild Edge Farm, thank you. Jessica gets it from her own place from Griffith Farm, perfect. As well as Sunny Farm, Sophie's Farm Stand across the street there on Evans Road. Yes, Port Angeles Farmers Market, there we go. So what you can all see now is that chat function is there for you. Please use it throughout. But you'll also notice down below, there's a little place where you can actually pick who you might chat with. And you can pick anyone in the group if you want to send a more private chat. I also wanted to point out that there's one called Land Trust. And Land Trust is Amanda in our office. And if you're having a weird technical issue or you just want to say hi to Amanda, you can go ahead and click on Land Trust and you're in a private chat with Amanda. And we can help with whatever might be popping up. You'll also note one that says Pledge Here, and that will come in later in the night. If you choose to do a financial support, you can actually put a private, it's a confidential place, you could place a pledge, and we're trying that out tonight, and figured we'd see if we can actually kind of get a little bit of a tabulation on how that goes. So it looks like a few more people are putting in their favorite places, oh, Rebecca, only other choice of panelists. All right, we might have a settings change. So no worries, but we will see about the settings as we go. So with that, I want to go ahead and move on forward. And I am so excited tonight to kick off our Farmer of the Year presentation. We've been doing this for 20 years. Really excited with what's about to happen here. And to make it happen is a former recipient of this award, as well as the director of WSU Extension here in Clallam County. And I give you Csa Rome. So Csa, take it away.
Thanks, Tom. Boy, all that talk of the harvest dinner made me really wish that I was at Sunland, seeing you all in person, looking out at a sea of people who have gathered to honor our agricultural community. Missing you face to face tonight, but really happy that the Land Trust has put this opportunity together as a second best option to connect and say thanks to the important farms in our area. So I am really honored to present the Farmer of the Year Award on behalf of the Land Trust this year. But before I do that, I want to pause and say thank you to the Land Trust. Thank you not only for the 30 years of amazing work that this organization has done to conserve beautiful and important places across Clallam County, but also thank you for the work that you do to lift up and support local farms and to help our community members understand the important and vital role that farms play here in Clallam County. And a crystal clear example of that work is, as you mentioned, Tom, the creation of the Olympic Peninsula Farmers Fund that earlier this year, in a matter of mere weeks, partners were able to pull together about $70,000 for our local farms to help them weather the COVID crisis. And farms got the cash influx when they needed it, and food banks get an influx of healthy, nutritious food to help our community members in need. It truly is a win-win, win-win. So it's been wonderful, and it would not have been possible without the tremendous generosity of you all and your generous donations, but also without the work that the Land Trust has done over so many years to build a community of people who value and understand the importance of farms on the peninsula. So thank you to the Land Trust. Now, it's my honor to present the annual Farmer of the Year Award. This is the 22nd annual Farmer of the Year that has been awarded by the North Olympic Land Trust and way back when the Friends of the Fields. It's an award that honors the incredible people who work to build and maintain the agricultural resiliency here in Clallam County. Over the years, it's honored such notables as Bob Caldwell, a tireless advocate for the conservation of working farmland, Joe Holtrip, who's the director of the Conservation District and the mastermind of the modernization of our Squim Dungeness irrigation network, as well as a host of amazing farms over the years. This year, the Land Trust has taken a unique approach and nominated not one farm, but rather a group of farms in our county that utilize a particular method of selling their products known as community supported agriculture, or CSAs. So here's what a CSA works. I'm going to give you a little overview of how a CSA works. Customers seeking local, seasonal, fresh, delicious food can purchase a subscription, also known as a membership or a share, from a farm or a group of farms, either at the beginning of the season or month by month or even week by week in some cases. The members pay the money up front and in return get a box or a bag or a basket filled with delicious farm goods each week or month or a few times a season, depending on the structure of the CSA. So you can see that there's not really one model, and CSAs are as diverse and innovative as the farms that offer them. The CSA model offers several advantages for both farmers and consumers. The advantages for farmers include that they receive upfront payment, often early in the year, which really helps with their cash flow cycle, and they can invest in a timely manner in the things they need it for the growing season to come. The money goes directly to the farmer, not to a middleman, and farmers have the opportunity to get to know the people personally who are eating the food they grow. For us eaters, the advantages are that we get ultra fresh food delivered to our doorsteps or very close by. We get exposed to new veggies or new cuts of meat and delicious and tasty recipes to try. And we get to know the farmers that are growing the food that we eat. But I do want to say CSAs are not an easy option for farmers compared to, say, picking your crops, loading them in a wholesale truck that comes by your farm and sending them off. Overseeing the intricate production management, the distribution of the shares, the marketing and communication to members is a challenging road to hoe. But with the CSA model, there is the critical concept of shared risk between community members and farmers, and that's what really makes a CSA special. In most CSAs, members pay upfront for a whole season. And if something happens to a crop, say bad weather destroys the berries, or there's a flea beetle infestation in the broccoli, well, it means members don't get berries or broccoli in the basket that year. The farmer and the customer share the inherent financial risk of farming together. Everyone is disappointed together when something fails, but as is much more often the case, everyone also gets to celebrate abundances together. So we're all in it together, and we are invested in our local farms and the food that they grow. And that is why it's called community-supported agriculture. Supporting a CSA is also one way to bring more equity into the food we eat. Farmers get paid the real value of what it costs to produce food. And many farms offer programs where their members can pitch in extra to provide reduced cost shares for low-income families. Not to mention, the direct work that so many of our local farms, many of the farms listed here tonight, do directly with the food banks through the Olympic Peninsula Farmers Fund or farm to food bank programs. So CSA farmers all over the country, and including here on the peninsula, have seen a surge in membership during COVID. COVID, as we know, has shined a light on the many vulnerabilities of our global supply chains, including our food systems. We've seen meat packing houses shut down due to outbreaks, farmers having to dump thousands of gallons of milk or plowing under fields. And at the same time, we've seen empty grocery store shelves and minimum wage workers on the front lines of these grocery stores, or workers in packing houses, truly put at risk. So in many ways, CSAs are a solution for these times. You don't have to risk going to the grocery store. And the supply chain is as short as you can get it without growing your own food. It's from the farmer to you. And in an economic catastrophe like this, keeping dollars locally in our community, helping local businesses, helping local farm businesses directly is so important. Investing in a CSA, investing in a local farm business, investing in the conservation of farmland is an insurance policy for the future of our community. It is security, it's local food security, and we are all in this together. So today we honor you, Bentgate Farms in Agnew, with Anna, Brian, Asha, and Libby Swanberg. Csa's Farm in Dungeness with Scott Chichester. Griffith Farm in Dungeness with Jessica Hernandez and Chris McClurkin. Salt Creek Farm in Joyce with Doug Hendrickson and Lee Norton. Sisterland Farms in Port Angeles with Jensen and their team of sisters. Wild Edge Farm in Elwha with Karen and Jim Weaver. And Wild Forks Farm in Sappho with Brittany Jones. So thank you all so much for the work you do in providing security to our community during these challenging times and beyond. Thanks. Days of Bounty. Those are beautiful pictures. And now I'd like to introduce Anna Swanberg from Bentgate Farms, who will be accepting the award on behalf of all the farmers tonight. Over to you, Anna.
Thanks, Clea. Thank you, Tom, and everybody for coming out tonight. I'm humbled and honored to be here tonight accepting this award on behalf of all the Clallam County CSA farms. Thank you to the Land Trust for continuing this tradition despite the challenges this year brings. I have been on both the consumer and producer side of a CSA and can attest to all the benefits Clea already mentioned. The community aspect of a CSA is such an integral part of the program for both producers and consumers. As a CSA member, I love personally knowing the farmer who grew my veggies and knowing why tomatoes taste different from different fields. I like being exposed to new foods that are easy to pass up or impossible to find in a grocery store, and hearing from the person who grew them why they chose that crop and the best way to enjoy it. I get a kick out of picking up my share and seeing the same people each week. Even with social distancing rules in place, us members find ways to connect. We express our excitement about getting amazing carrots in our boxes and smile as the kids finish off the pine of tomatoes before even getting back to the car. Our family has made great friends just by picking up our CSA box. As a producer of a CSA, I and many other farms feel so grateful to have people sign up to be a part of our program early in the season. As Clea mentioned, this provides much needed financial support during the season when there are many expenditures and not much, if any, income. For us, this is the middle of winter where we're spending our days fighting the cold, wet Northwest weather and experiencing the inevitable losses that come during calving, lambing, and kidding season. Seeing those CSA orders come in during those cold, dark months feels like having our own personal cheering squad yelling, "You can do it! Don't let a little mud or calf struggle get you down. We believe in you." These members are the ones who uplift and energize us with texts saying how much they're looking forward to the season, handwrite notes describing the family meals they have been creating with our food, and post on social media shout-outs to help promote our farm. In short, CSA members truly are the best. Farmers in this county are so lucky to have the support of the Land Trust and the greater community. What I love about being part of this family farming community is the web of connections we have weaved here on the peninsula. It can be hard on the peninsula to be successful with economy of scale, so farms often build their successes together with the help of organizations like the Land Trust, the greater community, and each other. These connections might not be obvious to the general public, but become apparent when people become a part of a farm through a CSA. Members hear stories of how grateful a first-generation beef farmer is that a fourth-generation dairy farmer is willing to answer 1,000 questions about cattle. Next time we run into each other, ask me how I know 1,000 is the correct number in this scenario. They hear how an organic vegetable farm works with a livestock farm to amend their vegetable beds with composted manure. CSA members might also hear a story of how, with the help of community donations and the Land Trust, one farmer receives an agricultural easement on his land where he then grows barley. Another farmer purchases this barley to feed her pigs. Finally, the same community members that help to protect the land the barley was grown on get to enjoy locally grown pork on their table. This circle of connectedness only comes with the unwavering support of organizations like the Land Trust and a community that literally puts their money where their mouth is. Thank you to the Land Trust and all the CSA members in our county. We couldn't do what we do without you.
So I'm not sure how at this point, there should be this massive, huge applause that I hope you are just hearing and feeling. Anna and everyone at each of the different farms, from Bentgate to Csa's, Griffith, River Run, Salt Creek, Sisterland, Wild Edge, Wild Forks. Thank you so much for what you do on behalf of this community. Please be hearing if you open your door, you should hear the loud, amazing applause from across this community for the incredible work you do. I know if we were sitting at harvest dinner right now, you'd be floored away. Is that a word? By the support. Oh, and there's some coming in on the chat as well. So thank you. And what we're going to try next, and this is the point where everyone gets your fingers crossed on video bandwidth, is I am so excited that this year we are celebrating 30 years that the Land Trust has been operating here in Clallam County. I did notice that Gary Colley is logged in today, one of the person who signed all of our founding paperwork back in 1990. And what we're going to do right now is we have a short video that John Gussman has put together. And like I said, once this is over, we're going to be posting that on our YouTube channel and on our website. But I hope you all enjoy this. And again, closer you are to a Wi-Fi router, the better chance you're going to have a really good internet connection. So with that, Navarro, why don't you go ahead and hit play on the video.
Thinking about our history of how we're all of one and we all gather united, no matter where we come from, no matter what color we are, but what can we do today to make it plentiful?
Since 1990, the North Olympic Land Trust has worked on behalf of the North Olympic Peninsula community to conserve this place we love. We know that by conserving land for farms, fish, and forests, it will pay direct dividends back to our own quality of life. In our first 30 years, the Land Trust has permanently protected over 3,500 acres, including over 670 acres of local farmland, 13 river miles of quality stream and river habitat, and 1,865 acres of forest lands, including over 460 acres of working forests. As we move into the next 30 years, together we will face emerging challenges. Our stewardship of this place we love can help us maintain and restore a healthy environment, economy, and culture. Since the 1850s, much of our area has been defined by our farms. On the prairies, in and around what is now Sequim, over 75,000 acres were cultivated as recently as the 1940s. Over the decades, subsistent homesteads evolved into dairies and farmers growing high-quality seed for farms across the country. Today, while our community has lost over 75% of our productive farmland, what remains provides high-quality fresh produce and products enjoyed by local families, as well as folks across the water in Seattle and beyond. Following in the footsteps of our predecessor, Friends of the Fields, the Land Trust focuses on providing this community with secure access to fresh local food and supporting local farm families. In the Pacific Northwest, ecosystem health is directly tied to the vitality of its local rivers and streams. The best indicator for river health in our area is its ability to provide vital salmon habitat. Over these past 30 years, the Land Trust has worked with local tribes and other partners to protect over 13 miles of the community's riverways. In early 2020, this included the permanent conservation of River's Edge along the Dungeness River. In partnership with the Jamestown Sklallam tribe, over 100 acres along the Dungeness River was protected, some ideal for farming, some for restoring river habitat. This effort preserves vital farmland, creates fabulous spawning habitat for the salmon, in turn helping feed local orca, and maintains access for the public to enjoy its incredible beauty. Similar efforts have worked to save lands along familiar waterways like Ennis, Seabird, Salt, and Elk Creeks, as well as the Pisht, Klallam, and Kalawa rivers. With dam removal completed, the Land Trust seeks to protect critical salmon habitat along the 6 miles of the Elwha River between the Olympic National Park and the Strait of Juan de Fuca. In this community, our forests are key to our ecology, economy, and culture. These lands provide valuable timber, bird and wildlife habitat, and carbon storage. In addition, places like the Land Trust's Lyre Conservation Area west of Port Angeles allows visitors to refresh in nature in a beautiful forest and stunning shoreline. The Elk Creek Conservation area, just outside of Forks, gives locals a peaceful streamside walk minutes from the center of town. Over the past 30 years, our community has experienced significant change. Steadfast, the Land Trust has been there to help conserve places that matter to us most. As we look forward, we know significant changes are ahead, some that we know and others beyond what we can imagine. The Land Trust remains committed to being a permanent fixture in this community, helping us move forward as our best selves to maintain and restore the things we love most about our home. Luckily, we have a community that is passionate about our homes and has proved itself willing to invest their time and money while sharing their stories and passions as ambassadors on behalf of this place. Share your love for where you live. Learn more and support your local land trust at NorthOlympicLandTrust.org.
One of the true benefits of living in this community is having videographers and locations and landscapes like what you just witnessed, and folks like John Gussman who can turn that into such an amazing visual. Like I said, this is now up on our YouTube channel and will be very quickly up on our website, where y'all can go ahead and watch that and share with others about your love of this place at any time you'd like. Like the video said, I just personally want to really thank all of you for your continued support for this place. You know, we're finding ourselves in a weird world doing new things and trying out. And luckily, you know, this is a place where we can make great things happen. Like we've already discussed tonight. Well, I guess late last year, we all came together and made River's Edge happen as a community. Early this year, we all came together and were able to get some direct support to our farmers immediately. Now we're at that stage where it's really for the Land Trust. This is really, we're looking to how are we keeping ourselves up and running and strong. We're in a pretty strong financial situation, but we're really learning about how the community is going to be able to act in this time and what kind of support we can expect as we make plans for the future and posture for what we're able to do in the years ahead. And so today, I'd like to humbly request for each of you to consider a gift of direct support to North Olympic Land Trust and our efforts on behalf of this community. I mean, very personally, I have a number of reasons why I choose to support the Land Trust. For me, and especially today, I feel like there are many issues that are really outside of my control. Something that I just kind of feel like the world is acting upon me and I do the best I can. With the work here, I feel like we're actually able to make tangible impacts that we can see. We can see farms that continue to thrive. We can see waterways that are conserved and allow for future recreation, allow for future returns of fish habitat, allow for those fish that are able to feed orca. We're able to see thriving ecosystems that both provide jobs and timber, while also having the ability to sequester carbon better than any place on the planet here in the home we live. And, you know, to watch an organization that's permanently conserved 20 farms, that's pulled off even in a pandemic, River's Edge, Clallam River, got the Olympic Peninsula Farmers Fund, having places like the Lyre Conservation Area, Elk Creek Conservation Area, and some emerging projects along the Hoko, River's Edge, Elwha River, as well as a whole slew of farmland conservation projects that will be just popping their heads out here shortly. And really a commitment that we need to look forward 30 years, and this is going to be a different community. Our climate's going to change, our population's going to change. How do we maintain the things that we love? And I want to invest in something that's going to pay direct dividends back to my own life. So if you'd like to pitch in towards the cause, thank you. Please consider that. Many of you already have, and thank you. I also know that this is a hard year, and many of you, this isn't a good time to do it. And you know what? Thank you for what you can do. And I know we're not going anywhere. Hold on. For others, if this is a good time, please consider a gift of support and join me in supporting the Land Trust. There's a couple ways to do this. Always, you can go to northolympiclandtrust.org and donate there. It's also great to send a check on into the Land Trust. As part of this virtual world, and I think this works for us now, down in the panelists on the chat, there's something that each of you should be able to see called Pledge Here. And it's a private chat room where you'd only be talking with one person. And you can just say, today I'm giving $20, $5,000, $10 million. And then we're able to quickly do a tally, and you can then pay online or via check, or we'll follow up with you for whatever works best. But it is a way for us to do a quick tally and see where we go. Because like I said, so far we've been holding okay. Harvest season, we typically raise about $65,000, and through the amazing Harvest Farm shares, we've already done 50 of that. But it'd be wonderful for this community if you can to chip in and allow things to keep moving forward. So with that, I do want to just once again give a huge, huge thank you to the group and really a deep appreciation to all of you and really appreciate what you do for this place. And I know it's awkward. I know we figure out what we can, and just appreciate that you all were joining us. Special thanks to Csa Rome, Anna Swanberg, Navara Carr, Amanda Anderson for all the great work you've done to make this evening possible. I also want to thank all of our sponsors for covering the costs of this event and and everything else in the harvest season, and making sure that all donations go directly to the Land Trust. And again, a huge, huge thank you to our local farms and the Farmers of the Year and our local community supported agriculture. So with that, I want to bid you all adieu. I thank you all so much for the great work we all can do together on behalf of this place. And I believe we've got a little, one final little thing to show and share. And thank you all for joining us. So bless you and have a great evening.